Okay, thank you, Rafi. So I'm the last of a long morning, so I'm going to be fast as soon as possible. And so I'm Florent Laroche, Associate Professor at the University of Lyon in Transport Economics, and I come from the LET, like Louafi and Olivier. I'm going to present you some results, preliminary results about the effect of COVID-19 on long-distance transport services, case of France. But two things to remain in your before to start. First, we are still into the pandemic. It's not finished, and it's a problem for research. First of all, we have a challenge about the data collection because we have to work in real time to present some things here. And the second challenge is on the date. When can I consider that we have a good point to compare today with the period before the COVID-19? So we have these two challenges. We have other challenge with literature which stay limited today, especially for long-distance transportation. We saw it during the conference. We are mainly on urban, but less on interurban. I think that interurban can be also interesting to consider because the shock has been very strong for interurban services according to the strong protectionism and travel restriction in the different countries. A second thing to know before to continue is that this study is a mistake because I'm transport economics. So initially I was working in 2019 on the market passenger liberalization. We was planned for 2020 in France. So I was collecting data on 4 origin destinations for main routes in France: Paris-Bordeaux, Paris-Toulouse, Paris-Lyon, Paris-Nice. And I was collecting this data for coach services, air services, carpooling services, and train services to assess the effect of market liberalization on the train services, but also on the other services. And March 2020, no work anymore, COVID-19. What can I do with that? I was a little bit disappointing. And so I have new research questions that I propose you today. It's the first one: what has been the strategy of the different stakeholders during the period? So from 2019 to today. And we are speaking about new normal. Can we see now already a new market organization, or are we continuing on the old system? So I will start by motivation, data, method, results. For motivation, France is a good case study, I think, for interurban transportation because we have a large diversity of mode. For train, monopoly is still in monopoly, but not for a long time. Competition should arrive soon. And also in France, we are maybe one of the only the first country in the world to have low-cost, high-speed rail since 2013. And the SNCF launched its services in Spain recently. But in France, we have this interesting case study. For air, we have a duopoly between Air France, the incumbent, and EasyJet, the low-cost. For coach, we have a new coach market since 2014. It was in consolidation in 2019, so it will be interesting to see how actors adapt their strategy and how it's evolved during the crisis. And we have BlaBlaBus, which is a part of BlaBlaCar, the European leader today. France can make good things like BlaBlaCar. And today, BlaBlaCar is the leader for carpooling services in Europe. And it will also be interesting to see how carpooling services offer evolved during the period. So we have a dynamic market from an offer point of view. So it's why it can be interesting to work on it. Second motivation is that in France, we had a lot of restriction in terms of sanitary regulation during the period. We had the first lockdown with a strong restriction, 1 kilometer, 1 hour per day. It was heavy. In March 2020, then we had other extra restriction on the period until the second lockdown in November 2020. It was the same than the first lockdown, but shorter, with extra restriction until a third lockdown in April 2021, but shorter and lower than the two first. And today we have a sanitary pass in France. If you want to go in the restaurant, to use a long-distance public transportation, you have to justify that you are vaccinated or that you are negatively tested to a PCR test. So we had a different kind of regulation. The university has been closed until this September, this year, during the biggest part of the period. It's important to understand especially the traffic of coach services, carpooling, etc., where students are used to use it. And also we had a strong incitation to home working until now. And it's true that since September, October 2021, incitation to stay at home, to work, are less important from the government, especially in France. So it's why I think that today we can say that September and October 2021 can be compared to September 2018, because it seems that even if we have still strong regulation, sanitary restriction, it seems that we start to see the end of the tunnel. Okay. And of course, this restriction had a strong impact on the demand. For train, demand has been decreased by 50% in 2020, with strong losses for the main for the SNCF. For air also, we had a strong decrease in terms of demand. For coach services and for carpooling, it's interesting because demand decreased in 2020, but less, significantly really less than for other services, only 25% less. And what is most interesting here is that for car use, it increased. It increased in comparison to the summer 2018 for long-distance services, and especially on high-speed road. So what we saw today, again, on the move from public transportation to car for urban mobility, maybe that we have similar dynamic for long-distance mobility, even if when you take your car, you lose lot of time in comparison of if you use train, air, or not coach carpooling because it's road, but especially train. The data, so I collected data from September 2018 until now. Each time it was on Tuesday, 1 week before accepted for carpooling to get all the demand, and from the different websites. Method, it's a dynamic approach here. I did not have time to go further in the modelization, so it's a graphic analysis. I use price in average per kilometer, the number of seats for capacity, and also the frequency in average each time per day. And to assess competition on the market, I use the Herfindahl-Hirschman index that I calculate on the base of the average number of seats for each mode. So this is the first result. Here we are in number of seats, and you can see that we are not going in the detail of the curve, just a global view. You can see that offer has been strongly reduced during the first lockdown and less during the two others. That means that maybe that we had a kind of habit in terms of crisis and management of crisis from the different companies. But what is interesting, it's today, when we compare September, October 2021 to September, October 2 years before, today the offer is 10% below than in the initial stage. Why? And it's here where I should go further in terms of survey, certainly, and others. Maybe because of new behaviors, video conference, a kind of crisis on the business market, business travelers, or maybe more on-car travelers. We saw that during the summer it increased by 9%. So here it's a first interesting finding. Second, if I consider now the market share and the model share of the different modes, in the initial stage, train is the dominant mode on long-distance transportation in France. Air was in the second position. The market power of train increased during the first lockdown and stayed at a high level during the 2 others lockdown. And when we consider today, train is still at a high level, and air didn't recover the offer of 2019. You can also see that coach services disappear during the second and third lockdown, and carpooling services, it's marginal, but finally it's the offer which has been the most stable during the crisis between 0.4 and 0.2%. Here it's an overview in terms of dynamic of capacity with base 100 in September 2019. You see that we found back here the decreasing in terms of capacity during the different lockdown. And today we see that for train we are almost at the same level than in the initial stage. But for coach and air services, we are still below at the initial stage. And also here it's interesting to consider the curve for the carpooling with a very high volatility in terms of offer during the peak period, December, here in December, during summer, little during December at the end of the second lockdown. And we can assume, if I want to go further in terms of analysis, I think that I could use carpooling services as a kind of index of the demand to see how the demand can evolve on the market. Because carpooling is directly linked to the drivers who want drive to go from one point to another. And so we can assume that for other modes, we have lower variation in terms of capacity, so that means that during the peak period, they have a better utilization commercial rate. Here it's in terms of price for all of the modes. It's more difficult to analyze price because you have yen management in train and air. Nevertheless, there are two things interesting to see, it's especially during the second and third lockdown. Price increase. Why? We'll see after. Mainly because the low-cost services disappear during the period. So that means that if you stop the low-cost services, the global price, of course, increase. So from a social point of view, it's quite interesting. And another fact is that today the average price is below to the initial stage. And here also we can have several assumptions. Is it because the global market reduced and so we try to stimulate the demand from the stakeholder point of view? Is it because we have more low-cost services today than 2 years ago? We'll see that low-cost services increase in for different modes. Or is it because we have a crisis on the business market, and we'll see that especially for air, this last assumption can be interesting to consider. Here it's the price evolution per mode. We can see that air transportation is the most expensive. Train and carpooling are quite similar. It's unexpected. And we can see here that especially the proximity between train and carpooling and coach services we can analyze that actually like the will to the SNCF to develop low-cost services to compete better coach and carpooling services. Actually, it seems to work. It's carpooling services where price decrease a lot. And you can see also that it's interesting carpooling services. It's the mode where you have the highest volatility in terms of capacity, but not in terms of price. That's interesting because price don't increase when you have a peak period for carpooling. I think that just a paper can be done on this observation. And here now I propose you a focus mode per mode. Now, so here you have the frequency, the evolution of the frequency between classic high-speed train and low-cost high-speed train. As you can see, before the lockdown, classic high-speed train were dominant on the market. Then during the two hours lockdown, low-cost services has been almost stopped, so price increasing. And today, it's interesting to consider that low-cost services for SNCF increase, and we have a substitution. When you have a look on the schedule day per day, you have a substitution or replacement of classic train by low-cost train. That's interesting. It's kind of homemade competition, and so competition increase on this market. If you have a look on price, just consider the evolution on all the period. Here, it's more unexpected that price decrease, maybe for low cost, but it's more unexpected for classic HSR, because when we had a look on market share, we saw that train, the domination of train increase, is increase in market share. So price didn't decrease, essentially for classic high-speed train. So two assumptions here. Is it an effect of the COVID-19 with less business trips? Or is it an effect of the market liberalization? Because here we can also consider that the main, the incumbent, the SNCF, forecast an opening of the market and could start to decrease its price on the classic high-speed train. We saw it in Italy before the opening of the market. So here, I think that we could go further to identify what is to attract business trip and what is to anticipate the market liberalization. Here it's for air. As you can see also for air, before the lockdown, Air France was dominant on EasyJet. During the lockdown, it has been very difficult for EasyJet. They almost removed all their flights. But since the end of the third lockdown and during the summer, Air France didn't increase to find the initial stage its offer, but EasyJet increased it, and it is more challenging today, Air France, than before. And in terms of price, it's also interesting to consider that EasyJet increased its frequency but reduced by 50% its price. Then Air France have very lot of difficulties to recover the initial stage. I think that here So we have a strong, an aggressive strategy from EasyJet, but it's also, I think, a good indicator to highlight the crisis on the business market, maybe as an effect of sanitary restriction or video conference or others. For coach services, we are on a market where the differentiation is less important between both companies. In terms of frequency here, they are close. Just we can see that before the first lockdown, it was BlaBlaBus who was the leader, and then it's Flixbus which became the new leader today. And in terms of price, BlaBlaBus was in strategy of leader with an higher offer than Flixbus and lower price than Flixbus. Today is more challenging. So we can consider that I think that it's quite difficult currently for BlaBlaBus, and Flixbus is in consolidation, but the problem of this market is that there is no really difference between both competitors. So we'll see in the next months if there is enough demand for both of them or just for one. And this is for carpooling. There is only one curve because there is only one competitor. We have a high volatility of demand, but what is strange, was unexpected, as you can see, even after the first lockdown, so during the summer 2020, they did more traffic, or there was more drivers than during the last summer. It was a little bit unexpected. Is it because of sanitary effect and the fear of social relationship? If we have less offer today, or is it because of oil price jumping? But we could think that if oil increasing, I have more interest to share my car. But we are going to see that if we consider the price decreasing during the period, and continue to decrease during the summer 2020 before to increase to have a low increase. And so I think that when you consider drivers for carpooling, you have to take into account the cost of planification. And if price decreasing, because there is a regulation from the platform, if price decreasing and oil increasing, but the final price is not enough for you, you have less benefit, and so you can make the choice to don't share your car, even if the final cost will be higher. I don't know if I'm clear, but it's a little bit counterintuitive, but I think that there is the effect between oil price, platform regulation, and less benefit for drivers. And just here, I think also that BlaBlaCar tried to, it's a two-side market, so BlaBlaCar tried to support more the demand than the drivers, than the offer here, by reducing price. So, to conclude, we can see that we are 2 years after 2019, we have more concentration with an advantage to train. So finally, it's the incumbent which stays a pillar in the transportation. Low-cost offers have been really affected during the period, but they seem to have a better resilience than others, especially maybe because the market leisure is recovering faster than the business market. Nevertheless, we are still in the pandemic with a global reduction of demand. We can see that on price and frequencies. And so the new normal could be the old normal. because I think that next month will be a kind of business for survival between the different operators. And with the end of the public subsidies, yeah, it will be interesting to come back here in 1 year to make a point. But and so we can see today that we have various strategies, low cost for Twen, will it continue or not? Aggressive strategy for EasyJet, we will see during the winter how they can compete Air France. Consolidation for coach, price reduction for carpooling to increase demand. The problem is that it's a two-sided effect, so they are losing drivers. Okay, but I think that's the main question. To go further, what would be about business travelers? We were speaking about teleworking. Is it possible when I telework to use air? I don't know. Maybe. And of course, to go further, to have a better analysis of interaction between mode and price and frequencies. Thank you for your attention.